Good afternoon to all of you. Are you not tired? After the Homa and the ceremonies right from the morning? All right. What are we talking about today? Yes.
First of all, Mohanji, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence today. Such an auspicious day, and I'm sure everyone will agree. From 5 o'clock this morning, everybody is just floating with the high energy, the vibrations that happened in the temple during various rituals that in your presence happened. And I think it's not ordinary that to have you on Guru Poornima with so many centers coming all over the world, already 12 and more coming. We may not have you every year with us. So this is indeed for everybody in UK and all of the people who have come from different parts of the world. It's a great honor to have you here. So first of all, thank you so much for everyone's behalf.
Thank you.
Sorry, I might seem a bit emotional. It's all, you can blame it to the energies. But why, in our Hindu culture or Indian Bharat culture, Guru has got such a high stature and status. We also have, our Hindu gods, which you have been explaining over last few days satsangs, the details and the actual essence. But the position or the significance of Guru in one's life, in the presence, that is something that is not well aware. Maybe people just do rituals, but the actual essence and significance in one's life, I think I will be very obliged if you could just
in the system it says Mata first. First is your connection with your mother. It's 9 months more than the society and the world. So your primary connection is with your mother. Then comes father, the protector and the provider. This is very important. Mother is a nurturer. Mother nurtures you. Then comes father, protects and provides. Then comes Guru. Next important connection. The most unconditional of all connections, but the most vital, because he is the navigator. Guru is the navigator, taking you to the right destination. His job is very big, but as I told earlier, just like your soul, your Guru has no job. I'll come to that. Then Devam, God. God is an awareness. So these 4 aspects are very important, connection-wise or your obligation-wise. These are the 4 aspects. First and foremost is definitely mother, then father, then Guru, then God. Each has a different function in your life. Each one perfects you in some way. Without mother's nurturing, you cannot survive. Or delivery, mother has to bring you to earth. And then the father or the father figure, the guardian, who provides and protects, because we are extremely vulnerable as children. There you have nurturing from the mother and protection from the father. Then comes Guru, who navigates you to your destination, even guides you or walks ahead of you. Or Guru is somebody who has walked ahead, means somebody who has found the path, found the destination, reached the destination, and turned back to you to guide you to that space. So that role is very important. And God is a perpetual awareness, where you should see God in everything. It's a perpetual awareness. Within me there is God, within you there is God. It's all God. So if you're constantly aware everything is God, you will respect everything. Time is God, money is God, space is God, things are God, materials are God. everything is God, or everything is moved by God, including us. With that awareness, you will be stable. You need that awareness. God is not in any object, God is within. Or God is in every object, everything, inanimate, animate, everything, there is God. So, with that awareness, if you look at life, you will have no separation. You will not feel, you will not ever feel away from anything. You're one with God, where you came from. So, these four aspects, if you really understand, you will have a balanced life. Look at these four aspects of life. You will know there is always a balance, and there will be a culture of respect. When you respect anything, you will not hurt that thing. When you respect your mother, you will respect all mothers, even non-human mothers, because the pain of delivery is the same for all mothers. The concern, the care is the same for all mothers, for their children. So we will definitely respect all mothers. If you really understood your mother, or if you really respect your mother, you will respect all mothers. We cannot ever think that the child of a cow is less important, or the mother cow is less important than a human mother, or a mother pig is less important. We will never feel. We will respect all mothers. So this is important. Now, second part, where the most important part, where I said Guru has no job. That is true. Why? I answered that question earlier. Anybody can tell me why Guru has no work? If you say something, you should convince me. Correct. No, but why? I'm asking the question in a twisted way. Why he has no work? You need microphone, I think. Yeah. Natalia is full of microphones.
City, which is in a different kind of
That is God.
instruments that we have.
That's God.
Isn't that the same?
Isn't it? That's God's job. God is the activator. Guru do not activate necessarily. He can activate, but not necessarily. God's job is activation. Enlivening. Ulla.
Guru is also a presence, and Guru is like a mirror, or like the highest possibility for us. So we can just watch the Guru, and it's just beingness.
Mm-hmm. Hmm? Guru is like mind? Sorry?
Guru is not working because it is Guru's nature to do that thing.
Absolutely. That is the point here. That is the nature of sun. What is the nature of sun? Heat and light. Sun doesn't have to do anything to produce heat and light. Sun is not doing anything specific to be bright and to have heat. That's part of him. Same like that, a guru doesn't have to do anything particular to bring awareness. His presence itself brings awareness. Or in other words, what he is exactly the aspiration of everybody. As I said earlier, he has found home. And his presence tells you where is home. Are you with me? That is why I said Guru has no job, Son has no job, soul has no job, your soul. Soul is not deciding to keep you alive. Soul's nature is what you call as life. The nature of soul is what you call life. Absence of soul is what we call death. So nature of soul enlivens you. We call it life. But soul is not taking any decision. Let me enliven this man today. Soul is not. Soul's presence makes a person alive, or makes this the aspect of life. Soul's presence. Same like that, Guru's presence brings awareness. Guru's presence brings awareness. Teachings are a small part of it. Teachings are a small part of it, very small part. And various masters we have seen in history, they are all representation of that awareness. Awareness of truth, of consciousness, of truth. And what is truth? Something which sustains always. Something which is imperishable, can't be changed, does not die. Something which is perpetual and continuous. That is truth. Whatever is changing, we call it Maya, illusion, or untruth. Whatever changes is not truth. Whatever changes with time and stops existing is untruth. Whatever exists always is truth. A guru is that awareness of the truth. Simply put, awareness of the imperishable in you and outside you. What is imperishable? Truth is imperishable, and in you, what is that truth? The energy, correct. The energy aspect. Always be aware of the energy inside you. Then you know who you are. Otherwise, we will be deluded to think we are the personality, the person, the relation, the possession, the position. We get deluded easily. That's where Guru comes and knocks at the door and tells, you are what you seem to be. You are not what you seem to be. You are not what you seem to be. And that's a reminder. So that is the importance of Guru. And Guru Tattva, principle of Guru, sits in you, the guiding factor. Dattatreya had 24 Gurus. Means pretty much everything in the nature was his Guru. Everything. In other words, you can learn from everything. You can get back to the original state or where you came from through everything. If you look at the sun, not literally looking, or understanding the sun, you will know how impartial, detached, punctual, permanent, consistent, persistent life could be. Sun does not rise for somebody or for some country. Or sun does not rise, earth turns and sun comes. But sun's presence tells us that it's impartial. The light falls in the gutter as well as the garden. And sun is not affected. It gives light to a cruel person and a very kind person. Same light. Same with the soul. Soul enlivens a person who is very, very dangerous for the society as well as somebody who's very kind and generous in the society. Same, equally. No discrimination. Fully detached. Look at the nature, it's the same. The tree gives shade even to the woodcutter who comes to cut it down. Until the last moment before its fall, the tree protects the woodcutter. But the woodcutter is cutting him. The tree will fall any day, but tree protects, provides. See? All these things in the nature gives us lessons, teaches us lessons. It's very important to remember. This is the kind of guidance you get when you look around and see a guru in everything. When you see a guru in everything, everything guides you. Everything of life. That's why I always say life is the greatest teacher. The greatest teacher is life. Nobody else can teach you or give you lasting lessons like life. Life is a great teacher. Right? Questions? Upton. The microphone is coming, Upton. In English, please.
My understanding is that you can even get liberated with having flaws, and that you carry flaws all your life. But patterns are different. Patterns can be changed or taken away. How do you tell the difference between whether it's something you carry all your life or something that you can get rid of?
All your flaws and all your gains and strengths are part of patterns. They are not separate from you. You don't have any flaws particularly isolated from your pattern. So everything is interconnected. Everything you carried, that's part of your existence. So by patterns or fighting those flaws, you may not succeed. Because the more you energize that stays on. When you are constantly conscious about some flaw in you, that's the thing which grows. So you have to focus on the purpose, refocus, again focus, and sometimes reinvent yourself to maintain focus. Very important. If you really want to use your life successfully, you have to focus, refocus. Why refocus? Sometimes while focusing, you may deviate because patterns pull you out, pull you back, or takes you on a detour. So you may have to refocus. Sometimes refocusing with the same pattern of life may not work. So you may have to reinvent yourself, realign yourself for the sake of staying with your purpose. Purpose is very important. We must know why we are born here, what you want out of life. If you don't know that, very difficult. Very difficult. Then you will be swayed by the situations and temptations. Everything exists. Situations exist. Temptations exist. They are all part of existence. But we must always be clear what you want, what we want out of life. And that focus should always stay. If we lose focus, it's time to stop and refocus. One of the part of the empowered programs. Stop, pause, and refocus. Because temptations are plenty in the world. And that's all nurtured by your pattern. We were tempted in the past. We will be tempted in the future. Because things we love to do are connected to pattern. Things we have to do are not always connected to pattern. Things we have to do is that if you have found your destination, until you reach that destination, you can't stop. If you stop, nobody else is affected. You are affected. Lifetime is affected. So if you know where to go, and if you are sure this is where you want to go, keep walking. Maybe everybody may not walk with you. People may even say that you are crazy. Why are you going in that direction? Especially a path of dissolution, thousands of obstacles will come. Path of dissolution means you are completely becoming fully conscious being. You are completely conscious, full time. That path is very tough because patterns are so strong. Don't underestimate patterns. They bring you back all the time. Hey, don't go there, don't go there, don't go there. It's terrible. But if you are fully conscious, then you are eligible to be multidimensional. Otherwise, we are unidimensional, only connected to one personality trait or one particular personality. And we think this is me. We think this is us. Because we fail to see our whole potential. And it's not easy to know whole potential until you experience it. It's just a vague theory. When we say multidimensional, it's like a voodoo story. What multidimensional? Because living in one body, having a name, a form, having connections connected to your existence, like relations, positions and possessions, you fail to have grip on the truth that you can be everything as well. Why do we respect these masters in the temple? You see so many masters. They all attained their multidimensionality. That's why. There are living masters even now who have attained multidimensionality. And there are so many masters who lived in the past still existing because of multidimensionality. But how do you know it's true? That's where we have to look at them. These masters are living examples of a possibility. They are living examples of this possibility of multidimensionality, even intergalactic, not even on earthly plane, in different planes. Many of these people, these masters whom we know, are intergalactic. They are not bound only to earth. Their presence is everywhere. Very large presence. But we are so small in our thought process, bound by our personality, we fail to recognize these are all possible. And when you are multidimensional, you will not be fascinated by anything which senses gives you. You may not be. Sensory pleasures may have no value. No value. This is what is a big fear for mind. Mind losing senses. Mind can't accept it. Then what the hell am I doing here with you? Mind dies. Mind will die, then awareness rises. For awareness to rise, mind must die. Which mind? Waking state mind. Primarily. Basically, the mind which holds all these notions and concepts and theories and things which deludes you. Clear, Upton?
Thank you.
Thank you. Arun.
Father, thank you so much for the opportunity to volunteer here. Really grateful for that.
Thank you. Why should you thank me?
No, you gave me.
Thank Vijay and Shubhashri and Christopher, all these people who allows you
Thank
to
you.
come here.
Thank you.
Hemant behind you. Yeah, there is a president at the very back. All these people are kind people.
Thank you, Father. So I had two questions. One was about, you told me about the stability aspect the other day. Is Kriya a way to work on that? Or
Any practice, anything which you can consistently practice can stabilize you, provided you pay attention. even if you're meditating every day, contemplating every day, perfecting dharana, concentration every day, consistently what you do will take you inside and connect you to the inner core of silence someday. Once you reach the core of silence inside, outside world will not be very fascinating. When you are not stable, everything outside will be fascinating. So there is nothing to talk about when all things outside are very fascinating and you don't want to come inside. This is all practices, kriya or dhyana, all those things are practices to stabilize you so that you can be very effective in life. Stability removes the wandering in life. When you're stable, you know exactly what you want out of life, what's your priority, what gives you contentment, and you will be only following that. So much of junk is removed. Wasted times are removed. So when you are focused, when you are practical, when you are stable, you have no excesses. You will do what you have to do. That's it. That gives you effectiveness. What you need most in life, effectiveness. Your thoughts, your expressions, your actions should become effective. Effective life is a life well lived. But it's not easy because we have so many distractions. And each distraction makes your life less and less effective. So anything which you practice consistently, sincerely, and with dedication helps you to stabilize.
Father's second question was, when Pat asked about the aspect
Who?
of Pat the other day asked about cleanliness and
Uh-huh.
purity, and you mentioned about obviously taking care of ourselves physically,
Yeah.
mentally, etc.
Brush your teeth, etc. Yeah.
Once twice a day. Yeah. So twice a day. So I wanted to ask you that, but there's also this aspect like when I have the privilege of doing seva, I just go and go, but then
Without brushing teeth.
yes. That's why sometimes I have gum, chewing gum with me.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's why you're eating chewing gum. Yeah, understood. Now people know. So those who permit you to seva, they will think twice now. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Jokes apart.
No.
Tell the point.
So I wanted to ask that I actually also reach a point where I might be physically almost exhausted. So there I feel I'm not taking care of myself. So because I want to go all out and serve.
You know, there is a proverb in English. Charity begins at home. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of other people. In the flights, they say, put the mask on your nose first, then you put on others' nose. What does that mean? You take care of yourself so that you can take care of others. Then it's the same. You have to survive to keep others alive. So imbalanced seva is not effective. When you are not balanced yourself, whatever you do will be ineffective. So when you are doing seva or anything, not only seva, even your work, when you are overworked, you are less effective. You are less productive. Ask Hemant, he will tell you, he's a big boss. People who work too much without productivity. Yeah, retrenchment. So this is all true. Because we have to be stable and work effectively so that satisfaction is optimum and also your time is not wasted. You have to take care of yourself. There should be time for everything. But there are occasions like you guys went to the earthquake affected areas. There sometimes it's not as per our convenience. That you have to do what you have to do. These are all rare things. Not all the time. Sometimes you have to do such things. Like Vijay and President all went to Ukraine. Their service is of a different nature. It's not as per your convenience. That's a different story. They have to do. That time you may have to compromise things, but that doesn't mean that you always compromise and spoil your existence. Yeah. Clear?
Yes, Father. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Mohanji, very blessed to have you here on Guru Poornima.
I'm also blessed to have you here.
Thank you, Mohanji. It's been such a beautiful day. The Paduka installation of Bhagavan Satya Sai happened today, and the unveiling of his photo, something very close to all our hearts. Could you talk a little bit about this, maybe the significance, anything you want to say?
What would I say about it? Baba arrived and he brightened the space up further. Isn't it? What more we talk about it? Baba is in our hearts. That's why he's here. You know, he came and he brightened the space further. Yeah. He was supposed to come, he came. Dr. Pavan and Dr. Viru, all the team. We have decided this long time ago, right? No, but the Baba should come here. We had told last year. Last year in Serbia, we said, yeah, we discussed casually that Baba should, and it happened. Baba waited for Guru Poornima to appear. And beautiful picture, he's smiling. Yeah, blessing, smiling.
If I
Don't
may,
thank me, thank him. It is his grace that he came here.
if I may just add to that, since Baba arrived, the photo arrived yesterday afternoon. I think everybody was so busy. Preparation yesterday was festival, and we were working till late night. So everybody gathered because we had early morning start and the event. So as soon as they all fit the photo, it had to be, of course, perfect, precise. We cannot just put any nail and hang it. It's not like that. It's not ordinary. So many of these presidents and all, Hemant Bhai and everybody was there, and they were measuring. It became beyond midnight. Was holding and they were measuring and trying to lift. That time itself, I felt like, so much of energy, like I can't even explain. And there is presence, as you say, Guru is presence. And as soon as he came on the wall, we hang in, there was difference. There was as if even Sai Baba, I looked at Sai Baba, even though he, according to us, he slept already after 9 p.m. Aarti, but he was very much awake. He had smile on his face. The whole room brightened. Aarti was also there, Rulla. We were all making flowers. Then we said, okay, we'll make nice, beautiful mala, which was, it was a lila actually. And it soon, we didn't realize it became 1:30. And we were still, full of energy. And so it was so much of joy and brightness. Even that time, it was not consecrated in that sense. But even to have that photo there, everybody who was working felt last night. And people who are connected to Satya Sai Baba even more deeply would definitely felt it, right? Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Pavan and Viru Bhai and everyone who brought us this happiness and joy.
And Dr. Pavan was telling that all the journey you were feeling Baba sitting there, not as a photo frame, but actually he's coming. But the people won't hear.
Sai Ram. I have enormous gratitude in my heart because although sort of, you can just put wherever Baba's temples are there, you can just put land is here. And that was a conversation, and he very graciously made this statement. And we probably totally forgot about it, but it was there somewhere in the back of the mind. But just 2-3 weeks back, when we met Mohanji at Sister Subhashri's house, he said on Guru Poornima day, just bring Baba, will install the padas and Swami's feet and Swami's photo. Now, in that span of 2-3 weeks, you won't believe how many things happened so that Baba comes here today. And for that, I have to say with utmost sincerity, my wholehearted gratitude to Mohanji for even saying
No,
that.
it's no gratitude to me. This is all his plan.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I don't like to steal that thunder.
In fact, appointments got rescheduled. People who wanted to take some orders, they did not want. So many things happened so that this moment happens today. Yes,
Wonderful. That's all. That's the way he does it, isn't it? Yeah, it's all his leela.
I had a question. Yeah. First of all, I would like to say that I find it fascinating that we have this old horse. What is it? Riding school, and so many things. One could see like little parts missing or something not fixed, or. But on top of all that, just adding a bit of color and adding that presence. Brought in so much of joy to all of us. Yesterday we were partying.
That's Vigneshwara's style, right?
I just find it beautiful how everything evolves here. And when we see Skandavale, for example, the photos of how it looked in the beginning and what it is now, it's much easier to have a vision of how beautiful this center will become in the years to come. I wanted to ask a question, something that I was asked by somebody who is not on the path of guru disciple. I just thought it would be good to bring clarity. So one question would be, okay, if you have a guru as presence, somebody to help you connect to the source because you're not able to connect to the source yourself, how do you know that this path with having a guru will bring you to that goal faster than you yourself directly connecting to the source? And secondly, if one has a guru and reaches that destination, does that mean that you are then making a guru out of yourself for somebody else?
First of all, when we were sitting in school, did we ask this question? Why do I need a teacher to learn to write the exam? From the books, were you able to learn and progress? Everywhere we need guides. Whole life we need guides. Some have certain effect, like some guides takes you from one class to the other in school. Some people take you from one level of awareness to another. Some people take you from ignorance to perfect knowledge. Everybody has value. Not just a particular teacher. All teachers, that is why Dattatreya has 24 teachers, gurus. They are all of value. So, first of all, why we think we don't need any assistance? Do you know the whole roadmap? And even if you know the whole roadmap, if there are pitfalls, if there are delays, detours, how do you know how to come out of it? Everything needs training, guidance, support, especially something as sensitive as enlightenment, which is a journey from the complete gross, physical body, mind, intellect, ego, to that of subtle, that which activates these things. So to understand and recognize and settle into subtle, S-U-B-T-L-E, subtle, that needs assistance, guidance. But when you are eligible or when you are really craving for that, the right teacher will come. If that is not important and gross is occupying your mind fully, gross means physical life, material life, personality is occupying you fully, we will have such questions. Why do I need a guru? You don't need a guru. Because you are just living your pattern. When somebody lives their pattern, they don't need any assistance. But when it becomes important to transcend to the subtle and to connect to the subtle part of you, you can't travel alone easily. Even if you try various practices, it may not work, especially in our path, Raja Yoga path. Connection to the Guru has much more value than any number of practice. Any amount of practice. Connecting, simply connecting. Like Hanuman connected to Ram. Simple connection. That is much more valuable than any amount of practice. But there are certain paths which are practice oriented. Guru may just say, no, not that, not that. Am I this? No, you are not that. Am I another thing? No. Like that. And then eventually you will find what you are. This is another type of paths. There are thousands of varieties of people. And there are thousands of varieties of reasons to proceed or pursue the path or not pursue. Because patterns, karmic patterns, desire patterns are very powerful. You can never underestimate them. So when you do not have that inclination or tendency to pursue something higher, larger, subtler, then we will have excuses. What's the big deal about a guru? Why do I need this path? All these practices are nonsensical. And life after life you come back for the same thing. Same thing. Same agonies and ecstasies. And sometimes they say, oh, that's exactly what I like. No problem. No problem. You can go for it. Clear?
And the other question was the one who has a guru and strives to reach the highest through the guru necessarily also becomes the guru to somebody else.
Of course. When you reach the aspiration or your aspiration, or when you reach the state of the guru who has already arrived before you, you also become the same. When you arrive at your own subtlest aspect of you, you are the same as your guru. That's what we talk about Deepaka's story, right? When you connect deeper and deeper, and then you reach the soul aspect, your mind gets nullified, you and guru are same. Our whole empowered program is called Making Masters. Isn't it? Helping people to penetrate to the core of themselves and stabilize in silence. But a bit of book knowledge will not make you a guru. It can make you a good teacher. If you learn the books well and you can write the exam well, you can be a good teacher. But to become a guru, you should have experienced it and stabilized in it. In other words, if you're talking about stillness and silence, you should have experienced stillness and silence. Otherwise, there's no point in talking. It's somebody's theory. Many people are only talking theory. They have not experienced. So what are they projecting? Their own personality traits. That's it. Their own personality is what they project. And then they seriously get affected by it. Because people connect to that personality, not to the purpose, not to the presence. See, anybody who talks high stuff from the books will get attention. Oh, very intellectual man, very intelligent man. But unless he has experienced and has no need for communication, he is not stable. If you read a lot, you will be eager to talk because you stuffed a lot of stuff inside. You have to vomit somewhere. But if you have actually digested all what you have learned, you may not even speak. There's nothing to speak. Because you have become presence. You see? So if somebody is guiding you to the level of presence, you become presence. And presence is one. Consciousness is one. You can call it Christ consciousness, Krishna consciousness, any consciousness, Baba consciousness, all are one. But we call it a name for identification's sake. Is understood? Shatrughan. Here. Microphone doesn't speak. No. You have to have more power to speak through the microphone. Whatever you touch is not.
Yeah, it's working. My question is about eligibility. Can you tell us? Because when I was a young boy, I would hear in church about get emotional about it when I say it. We would hear about Jesus and how he. How he would call his disciples. And he would say, come with me. Leave everything behind. And as a young boy, I thought, if Jesus would come in my life, I would drop everything and go with him. And I used to get angry because any sportsman can get a good teacher. And when I was 17, I would read about Krishna for the first time. And I would read about Krishna for the first time, and then I thought, that's what I want. I want such a guru, as I want God himself. And it took such a long time. I was 33 when I met my first guru. And now, at 61, here I am at your feet. I don't know why I get so emotional, but it's so. Why is it so difficult to be eligible enough to find the right guru? What makes it? Everyone says if the student if the disciple is ready, the guru will appear on his path. But the longing was there from very small, and it took such a long time. Why is that?
Yeah, I fully understand your question. More than that, I understand your emotion. Yeah, I'll explain to you. My job is to explain to Shatrughan. First point. We have a duration of existence from birth till death. In this duration, there are so many ingredients. Not only this aspect of finding Guru. If this was the only ingredient, the moment you are born, you would be born in a house of Gurus, or you would be born in the company of somebody who have access to Gurus. So apparently it's not. There are other things. And at certain points in time, like you came across the teachings of Jesus, story of Jesus, that became a reminder. That time, that point in time, you were reminded, this is the purpose of my existence, or this is also the purpose of my existence. Then you have to go through the process of family or various other things in life. And then at another point in time, you actually physically came across or you learned about another master. Then you realized, again you got reminded, hey, this is exactly what I wanted. Again, other things were priority. So in life, what you are supposed to do at each age, that will be the most important thing at that age. Nothing else can work at that, or they can work parallelly, but not fully. Intensely, it can't work. And then at certain stage, you became more matured to accept the presence of a master. in your life, that time the master came. And then at 60, 61, you were ready to go mad. Then you came to me. You know? Yeah, because this is Avaduta path. Path of Avaduta means you got to go mad. You got to go crazy. You see? Stark truths, direct approach, no nonsense. It's not easy. Imagine this thing was coming at the stage you were budding and trying to figure out what is spirituality. You would have gone crazy. Or you would have gone cuckoo. People would have thrown you out of the house. He said, what are you talking about? So, before you reach this path, this kind of path, Raja Yoga path, where it is all about being you, and going deeply within you, until you touch the core of you, which is silence, there is no other journey for you. But that needed a lot of preparation, right? And chiseling, as in your dictionary, chiseling had to be done to tone you up for this. Because usually, people do not just wander into Raja Yoga path. It's very difficult. Because bhakti, you have an object outside, you can pray, you can worship, you can sing, you can chant, you can dance. And Jnana Yoga, there is a book outside or a philosophy outside, a thing outside, you can look at it, contemplate on it, analyze it, or dissect it and move further. Jnana Yoga, path of knowledge. Or Karma Yoga, there is activity outside of you. In Raja Yoga, nothing outside of you. Even the guru outside is a crazy guy. It's all inside. So you have no choice but to go inside. When can you do this? You need maturity and a certain level of stability. Otherwise, people will deviate back to bhakti or knowledge or something, because that's easier, more comfortable, because there is something outside. We are living with our senses and mind. Senses are all tuned outside. Mind is for going outside with the senses. It's easier. Here you are shutting senses off, shutting the mind off, going within, finding yourself, and also the pain of dissecting from the external or disassociating from the external. It's painful. Very painful, because you are used to it all the time. Disassociating is not escapism. Disassociating means with awareness, you know that you are not part of it. They are all complimenting you, but they are not really holding you to earth. Yeah, you are being a witness much more. That needs maturity. Not everybody can walk this path. So I always ask people, are you man enough to walk this path? This is called the path of fire, the path of Shiva, path of fire. You know, one Avaduta who lives partially in the forest, once he met me, and he said, Mohanji, I don't envy you. You have to talk to people. You know, I don't have to. He's hardly talking to the society. He's partially in the forest and partially he comes to the town. But he said, you have to handle people. And people are minds. Minds are unstable, emotional, unstable. You cannot trust them. Inconsistent. But you have to handle them. Then he thought for a while. Don't worry. The path will protect you. This path is path of fire. It burns people to ashes. Those who do not dare will not step in. If they step in unconsciously or accidentally, the feet will burn and they run away. No, this is not what I want. So you don't have to worry. You don't have to do anything. People will, those who are supposed to stay will stay, others will not. So you just do your job. That's the truth. So I hope I gave you clarity. You know, when Jesus called people, come with me. I'll take you further. I'll take you to the place which you cannot even imagine. Means perfect consciousness. Many of these people did not have any clue. Yeah, they had no clue where they are going, and they liked him because he had conviction. Mostly people connected to Jesus because of his conviction. Whatever he spoke, it was clear. And he was sure. So okay, this fellow knows what he's talking about. Okay, let me see that attracted people, especially youth. Because many people are talking theories, and theories will not have that conviction. But when you talk from your experience, it will have conviction, power. And that conviction sometimes shakes your core. So that brought them to him. And later, when, Peter's story, not this Peter behind you. Peter, you are the rock, on which I'll build my church. So the Peter told Jesus at the Last Supper, Jesus, I love you. I have no idea how I will live without you. You are the most important person in my life. And I cannot even imagine a life without you. So Jesus laughed and said, before the cock crows tomorrow, you would have disowned me 3 times. Just before, in the supper, Last Supper, he said, I will never leave you. I will die, but I will not leave you. So Jesus said, no, don't be in a hurry. Before tomorrow, 6 a.m. or something, when the fowl starts shrieking, you would have disowned me thrice. And that's exactly what happened. Jesus was arrested, and they all ran away. They did not know what to do. And it was a cold night, winter. And people were on the street with the campfire. So out of cold, Peter went and sat near one campfire. So one of the people turned and said, is this the fellow who was with Jesus? So he said, which Jesus we're talking about? I don't know any Jesus. And then he suddenly felt, oh, I disowned him. He went elsewhere. He was still feeling cold. He found another campfire. He sat there, and one child said, hey, this is the fellow who was with Jesus. They said, which Jesus? I don't know Jesus. Don't talk nonsense. Second time. And by the time it was third time, they were taking Jesus. The people who had arrested Jesus was taking him. And Peter was completely devastated. Because whatever Jesus predicted happened to him. He was devastated. And he did not know whether to cry or to stay or to die, or he was in a complete dilemma. And that time Jesus was being taken, and Jesus turned and looked at him. Their eyes met, and that completely broke him down. Because what Jesus told happened, and he was totally helpless. This happens to people. This happens to people. So various things, various times, what we see or what you experience, it's rooted in helplessness. So in life also, even if you want to connect to something higher, larger, a powerful master, dissolution, even if you want it, it may not happen. Even if it happens, you may not connect. Even if you connect, you may not be stable. Even if you are stable, that also will be shaken by a situation or an event. At that point in time, how you will respond, that was the test for Peter. You see, his connection was stable, and he thought he will never have to leave Jesus, but in a very detrimental situation, he did not know what to do. So he decided to safeguard himself rather than stay with the commitment. Human nature. Human nature. This is how people are. When it comes to a crisis, people try to protect themselves. That time, friendship, so many other things will be not important. So it takes time. It's good that you are having this awareness of the evolution so that you will value it more. Shatrughan. This awareness is important so you can value it. Because it's many times people do not know the value of who they are with. And that's even worse, actually. It's even worse. That is why the story of it happened to Lahari Mahashya. He told his wife, even if I die, keep my body for 3 days. I may return back. Because 3.5 days you can keep the body without, before which you can re-enter. But the wife forgot about it. So after death, they took the body and they cremated it. And suddenly she remembered, hey, no, but he has said that to keep for 3.5 days. By the time she sent the message, the body was already cremated. Sometimes people do not know who they are living with, or what is the worth of this person, because you get used to it. This guy, I know he's around, but what consciousness he's operating from is not difficult. Outsiders may see, but the people who they are with, they may not see. This has happened to various gurus' lives, because they behave like ordinary people. Great masters, they walked as ordinary. Some of the greatest of masters looked like nothing. Very, very powerful masters, they looked like nothing. So this is exactly how sometimes people around do not know how to handle them. Or they do not know what they are handling. Both are equally detrimental. Yes.
But if even the wife of Lahiri Mahashaya cannot fails the test because she was quite an advanced soul herself, how difficult is it for us? And then who does the testing? God never tests because God is only energy. Who does the testing?
Themselves. Your patterns. Your constitution, your patterns. Test is always from within. Where are all the devils sitting? Within. Yeah, it's all inside. Patterns are testing you. Insecurities are coming from inside. Fears are coming from inside. Comparisons, competitions, analysis, they are all inside you. Nobody is interested in you from outside that way.
It's not exactly like in school that the master makes a test for the pupil and see if he fails or my previous guru, Gopal Baba, used to say, when you hang a picture of God on the wall, you hit a nail in the wall and then you pull it to test it if it's strong enough to hang God's picture there. That's the test. But if the test comes from inside, then
it's even more better. This and putting the nail on your purpose, hanging your purpose, and will it fall? That's a good test. Your purpose is, imagine your purpose is to become a master or dissolve into consciousness. Yeah. And you put the nail as a goal on the wall of your mind and put the picture called purpose. When the purpose becomes too heavy, that means pattern is pulling you down, means adding weight to your purpose. Purpose is light. It will hang, no problem. But your patterns are clinging onto your picture. So the nail is getting bent. And finally the picture falls. And pattern survives.
Or the wall is brittle.
Wall is okay. Mind is mind. Yeah. Shatrughan got clarity?
Lots of clarity.
Thank you. This is my job. I love to give you clarity. You know why? Because your question is from the heart. It's a genuine question. There are two types of questions. One is that, Mohanji is sitting idle, nobody is talking to him, so let me ask some questions. That is one type of question. The one is that I need an answer, and that answer can make a difference in my life. That's another type of question. Yours is of the second type. I need an answer, and this answer will make a difference in my life, in my clarity, in my outlook, because you are digesting the answer. That is the most effective communication you can think about. Any more questions?
Just a time check. We have only 15 minutes, so maybe.
15 minutes, yeah. Yes, please, yeah. That's not working.
Namaskar, Guruji.
Namaskar. They want to see you.
Okay. Okay, basically my question, I tried to ask this question from another person as well that was in ISKCON. Okay. I'm a very practical person and rely on evidences. That is my basic nature. My question will be, is spirituality nothing but a mythological world or a world of madness without any intervention of mind?
Mm-hmm. Good. There is this spiritual. Please sit down. Yeah, spirituality is your association with the energy inside you. It's not religion. It's not worship. It's not any activity which we see externally. It is your awareness of the energy inside you. When the energy is inside, we call it life. When the energy leaves this body, we call it death. So spirituality is simply a level of awareness where you know there is an energy inside me because I know this, because I am alive. Now, that is not a myth. That is definitely a reality. And how much you connect to the energy and how detailed we can go in how it functions, that is the depth of spirituality. How deeply you are connecting. This is called contemplation. You know what is contemplation? You go within and see, how is this functioning? I'm thinking, what is provoking, what is the energy that provokes this thought or helps me to think? I'm seeing, I'm looking, but I'm seeing. And if I have to see, I have to be present. Otherwise, we look, we'll not see. So many things we look, we don't see. But some things we remember, see and remember, for which mind has to be present. Something which is processing that vision is sitting in me. What is activating that thing? How am I seeing? Now, I'm hearing music. There is music there. But I'm listening with my mind available, so I'm enjoying the music. This is contemplation. Contemplation means you're going inside and checking. So all these great masters, who we call as great masters, who have attained what they attained, primarily through contemplation. They contemplated within. And that's when this whole idea of being spiritual happened. Being spiritual means oriented on the energy inside, not oriented on the personality outside. We are projecting a personality. You know, we are a person. We are born as a person. We have a name. We have a form. We have qualifications. We have a presence we have a relevance in the world, in the society. We have a personality which people recognize with. All these are connected to a particular existence. And that's what is relevant to us. We are known as a name, a person, etc. What is projecting, what is helping us to project this? First question. Second question, the same projection doesn't happen when I'm sleeping, but I'm still alive. I'm not dead in the night, I'm sleeping. The same projection is not there. Means my value is different when I'm sleeping. When I wake up again, I am projecting who I am to the world, and people connect to it, recognize it. So these are the second aspects which people connect to know themselves. And third aspect, I have an effect in this life. I am projecting what I am inside. You cannot project what you are not inside. Like for example, if I know something, I am talking what I know. I cannot talk what I don't know. So I am only helplessly projecting consciously or unconsciously what I am within me. So what is retaining all this? Or whatever is retained inside, let's say memories or impressions from the life, what is activating them or using them or what helps the usage? This is the third level of contemplation. So when you contemplate deeper and deeper, you'll start feeling there's an energy flow inside. You know, there is a movement inside. It's not only what I seem to be or what intelligence or intellect can know, because intelligence is also used, is activated by energy. And that energy is very simple. It's completely neutral. Energy is not asking you anything, even prayer or worship or anything inside your soul. But it's just like electricity. When it's transmitted through light bulb, it gives you light. When it's transmitted through television, it gives you picture. Same electricity. Or it transmitted through washing machine, it washes your clothes. Same like that, the same electricity, when it is inside us, or something similar, an energy inside us, we call it a personality, because that activates a personality. When that energy leaves our body, we call it a dead body. So this level of understanding will help you contemplate more and more on the subtle aspect of us. Means there's a gross, which is the physical body, and the mind and intellect, and the projected personality, and something which activates all this. So when you start connecting more and more to what activates inside, you start becoming more and more spiritual. Again, don't confuse this with religion. Religion are roadmaps designed by somebody who has walked the path. And they said, okay, this is the way I traveled. If you travel this way, you will probably see what I saw. This is what the religion says. But more than religion, there is an individual. You are an individual. You are not under any religion. If you want to choose a religion or a particular path, that's up to you. But more than all that, you are an individual, and you must know what is this person all about. For which you got to go within, deeper and deeper. That is what masters have said in the past. Go within and find yourself. Whatever you want to find, it's here, inside. The moment you realize the energy inside, you realize the energy outside. That is the whole idea about realization. Realization is realizing the energy inside, nothing else. You're not realizing anything which is not there. Self-realization is the realization of the energy which is already within you. And once you realize that energy, then you realize this is the same in everybody. I'm not different. I'm not special. Some people have realized it, some people haven't. That's the only difference. And when you are occupied with only the personality and the associated connections or attachments, you may not feel this energy inside. Most of the time we don't feel. There is this energy moving inside, and this energy is activating. But just a few minutes you spend with yourself and ask these questions. Hey, I'm able to listen. What is helping me to listen? Otherwise, there are so many sounds. If I don't listen, means mind is not present, I won't hear it. Like I don't see it or smell. Everything is connected to your presence of mind. So what helps me with the presence of mind? These questions will help you to understand and actualize that energy, which is the all vital energy. And please understand, when you are born at a particular time, we didn't have any control. Birth had no control. Not birth control. Birth had, we were born, and then death has no control. Someday we will die. In between birth and death, so many incidents happen. And many of them point its finger on something which is not what you thought or how you designed or how you planned. These are signs when you can see, oh, there is something which is playing, which is taking me through, which is bringing me to places, situations, effects, experiences, memories. So that is another level of thinking which can possibly connect you to something larger, like a cosmic soul. This is unit soul, universal soul aspect. So this is the transition. First and foremost, most important is to feel the energy inside, the soul aspect. We can call it soul or energy or ruh or whatever name doesn't matter. But there is something in you which its presence is what we call life. And its absence is what we call death. So this is approximately the picture of spirituality. And that awareness is spirituality. It is not a particular path, or it is your own path. The way you connect, how you feel. And it is not there's no prescribed format for getting there. Everybody can do that in their own way. Hope it's clear. Yeah. That is why I said this is all practical, I told you. Is there anything impractical which I told you now? Tell me one thing which is not practical, what I said. You're a practical person. I'm even more a practical person. And I always say, before being spiritual, be practical. You know, when you say practical, don't say that you will shut the door and say there's no sun. That is not practical. That is escapism. When you say practical, I accept what is practical means doable. And discard what is not doable. Don't accept theories. But I said contemplate. Is there a thing called life which is keeping you alive? That is the question I asked. Is there an energy which is giving you life? And when the energy leaves, it's called death. Of course, you are not dead. So other people have died, so you would have seen that state. Isn't it practical? Or tell me one thing which is not practical in this whole conversation.
Connection with energy. How will I say that I am connected with the energy?
You are alive. That's why. If you are not connected to the energy inside, you will be dead.
I have attained the enlightenment, or I have achieved what I wanted to achieve.
You attained enlightenment.
For example, I am saying.
Okay.
How will I prove that I have attained the enlightenment?
No, there's nothing to prove. Okay. When you're really connected to the soul, it's an experience. In an experience where nothing else matters, you are completely settled inside. The feeling of peace, silence, they are all signs of enlightenment. These things you cannot really buy from anywhere. When you reach a state, like for example graduation, how do you feel to be a graduate? How do you say? You don't have to learn the same books again. You reach there. Yeah. Like that, your practices will take you to a level where you actually connect to the source inside, the energy inside. Once you connect to the energy inside, everything falls quiet, peaceful. No practices, no connection, no nothing is needed anymore. I really appreciate your step that be practical. This is very vital. For many times why people are being manipulated is because they chase theories and they believe theories. This whole belief system people talk about means you shut your mind and believe. I don't believe in it. You should know. How? By feeling. If you cannot feel, try to feel. Spend time. See, you should not spend time with anybody else except you. Because the most authentic reality you will ever find in this life is you. Authentic. Everything else could be, you can choose to be with them or not with them. You can choose to follow something or not follow. But with you, you have a lot to do. One is through acceptance, as you are, with all the good, bad, ugly, whatever, we are all good, bad, everything. Accept yourself. Then contemplate on inside and try to find out what is this thing. And be skeptical. It's a good idea. Because don't just bite somebody's food. You know, because sometimes when another person's food may not be suitable for you, another person's path may not be suitable for you. So you create your own stuff so that you can fully engage in it. Because it's you have the full application to create that thing. That's very important. And also, by the word skeptical, do not be negative or negating everything. Because when you negate things, then you are actually reducing your options. Okay, this is a possibility, this is a possibility, this is a possibility. Which possibility is experienceable to me? I take that. A possibility which is not experienced, I can't experience, I don't want it. That's practical. You see? Thank you. We have time? I think Dominic is waiting. Where is Dominic? Yes, please. Be quick. I'll give a one-word answer. Yeah.
As part of the preparations to a Kailash trip, we are giving this meditation opportunity in which we take cleansing ritual, taking dips in Manasarova Lake. And you do one dip in there for the ancestors and one for the lineage.
First for you.
Yeah, then the
for your
second
parents.
lineage. Oh, in
Second
the
for your
meditations.
parents. Third for your ancestors. Fourth for all the people who are connected to you or dependent on you. Then to the other people, gurus and other people.
Okay, because in the meditation it says one you take for your lineage and one for your ancestors, and I didn't understand the difference.
They are both same.
Okay, easy.
Yes, please.
When I met you, years ago, I think 2017, you said, forget Natalie. Try not to be Natalie. And
who's Natalie?
That's me.
So you have not forgotten. You haven't forgotten. 2017 to 2024, you are still remembering.
I'm still here.
Yeah.
Yesterday we had the conscious dancing, which I really love. And then I felt all the conditions I have. And does that mean that I'm not authentical? Because I have so
why
many
you decide
conditions.
like that? No, you are authentic. That's why you are thinking like this. Because you are authentic, you are thinking like this. We are all authentic. Why not? When we are not authentic, when we are competing, comparing, imitating. If you are not doing these three things, you are authentic already.
Okay.
But you are not left Natali, that's all.
What can I do? Any advice?
Be Mohanji for some time.
Okay.
Well, see, this is the awareness I'm talking about. You have a form, you have a name, and people recognize you with it. This is okay. But always be reminded you are walking consciousness, which is formless, nameless. That's the only thing.
Okay.
When you wake up in the morning, remember, I'm walking consciousness. Of course, I have a name, I have a form. So there will be an element of detachment which comes with it. When you are unattached to this particular name and form. Mm-hmm. See, there is a prayer or a chant in Upanishad which says, Lord, please forgive me because I thought or tried to arrest you into a name and a form and a place while you always remain beyond it. That means we try to limit God, in this case ourselves, to a name and a form and a place. That was the biggest mistake I did, which prevented me from knowing the truth. I hope I answered this clearly.
Yes.
This you write down when you go home.
Okay.
Yeah? And then you don't worry about Natali.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sanskrit, I don't know Sanskrit. I never learned any scriptures. I don't know. This is only the translation. I'm a very uneducated person. I was very poor in my school classes, somehow scraped through. I never learned Puranas, Shrutis, Smritis. I never learned Bhagavad Gita. It's all truth. I'm telling you the truth. Yeah, nothing I learned. But somewhere I pick up these things. And I keep quoting them. You know? In the right place and the wrong place. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. No, I'm an ignorant man. I don't want to boast that I know everything. If you ask me Sanskrit, I am clueless. Honestly, I don't know.
Mohanji, today is the 16th day that continuously every single day you have given us at least 2 hours every day talking.
I'm wondering why you're not bored. same stuff repeated over and over again.
None of the days shows that you are ignorant and
No,
you
but
just say something.
whenever these scholars come to me to argue with me, I agree with them. I always agree. Because I don't know what to argue. They learned all the books and they say they try to prove to me they are right. I said, I agree, they are right. It's better. Yeah. 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 Yes, please. Be very quick, please, because we are running. Only one microphone is working, so you have a little bit of traveling to do.
I've travelled. Guruji, my question is about discipline and how to maintain and sustain discipline, because I realize that's
No,
so
don't
important.
try to make it discipline, but try to tighten the purpose. Try to sharpen the purpose. Discipline comes automatic. See, I did not try to do a discipline when I was practicing. What I did was, I realized that there is something beyond what money can buy, beyond all these things, and I wanted to taste it. That was my only aim. I did not know what is coming, or what will I reach to, or what will it be, I don't know. But I kept my focus on that thing, which I have not tasted so far. And that brought me the discipline. I always say that if you try to do something like discipline or determination on something, it will all flay if the purpose is unclear. You know. So keep the purpose, sharpen the purpose. That will give you 2 Ds, discipline and determination, and helps you to stay away from another D, distraction.
Thank you, it's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Dominic, it's all yours.
And we got along very well, and within a short period of time we decided to start a company together. And I'd always wondered how I found myself working at the forefront of luxury perfume. I had no particular interest in it before, but it was very obviously the path that I came here to walk, and it's becoming clear now why that happened. So Roger has had a passion for fragrance since a young age. He worked for the fragrance house Guerlain since he was a teenager. He became their global ambassador quite quickly, and as a result of that work, had exposure to the traditional forms of making fragrance. It's oftentimes forgotten today that perfume was traditionally the epitome of luxury. It was what you would give to somebody when you really wanted to show your appreciation, because it would take a week's salary to be able to afford to buy one. Perfumes were typically housed in the most extraordinary crystal. The oils themselves were oftentimes worth more than gold bullion per kilo. And so it was considered a really refined aspect of one's life. That all changed in the 1980s when the big petrochemical companies and detergent manufacturers bought up the industry. And so Roger, having trained in the south of France with Guerlain, making perfumes for royal families, etc., when it hit the late 80s, early 90s, decided he didn't want to work in that field anymore, but he continued on with his work. And so when I met him, I was inspired by both his passion and a word that Mohanji used earlier, which I deeply resonate with his effectiveness. He's an extraordinary perfectionist, and I learned everything that I know about perfume from him. And it's been an absolute honor to work with him. And so the company we started is now in, I believe, 60 countries around the world. It's one of the top references in luxury perfume. And what makes it different is a combination of creativity and also the quality of the raw materials. So again, as a result of my working with Roger, I've had exposure to oils and fragrance, essential oils and absolutes, which most perfumers don't get to smell. So with that backstory, I find myself in Puri, India, meeting Mohanji for the first time. And I was very fortunate to have a one-on-one meeting with him after a few days, which was quite extreme. I'm sure for a lot of the people in this audience, this won't be a surprise, but when I first sat with Mohanji, I found it very difficult just to sit next to him because there's just so much energy coming from him, and I think I was so impure that it was kind of hard for me to, keep the lights on. But at the end of that, very beautiful, gracious meeting, where Mohanji was wearing a vest and sandals, and I couldn't quite make sense of what was going on, he invited me to his bedroom to show me something, and I thought, oh, wonderful. So I had read some books about Indian masters before. I never quite thought I'd ever be invited to one's, personal quarters. And Mohanji showed me a bottle of perfume that he was wearing. It was a bottle of Chanel. And he said, what do you think about this? And I said, well, not much. I think we can definitely do better than that. And that was that, and I left. And this idea of a fragrance for Mohanji started rattling around my brain. And I sat the day after with a woman called Lena, who's a wonderful, wonderful woman. And I told the story to her, and she said, I don't suppose you have an unrealized desire to create a perfume, do you? And I said, well, actually, I've been working on the creative side for a long time, but inevitably there are filters through which I have to put my creativity because I have business partners. And I have had a desire for some time just to be able to do, to really do whatever I want and create something that, to my eye, is perfect. And she said, okay, fine, maybe mention it to Mohanji. So in that satsang, I came to see you. And before I could even finish the sentence, I said, oh, I was thinking about making and he goes, yeah, the Mohanji perfume, right? Yeah, get on with it. I was like, okay, cool. And so from there, I started to think, well, what does a fragrance for, but what does a fragrance for God smell like? What is that? How do you boil down that into this? And what happened is I had this very clear vision. I don't want to big it up, but it was a very, very clear idea that formed in my mind of sitting on a temple terrace in the south of India, in the forest-lined hills, with Mohanji next to me, meditating, and it was in the pre-dawn hours, and as the sun was coming up, that kind of moment where there's like an orange glow on the horizon, and it's a very special time because I sort of feel like whenever I'm up that early, which isn't very often, that I've got one up on everybody else. It's like a peaceful moment before the craziness starts. So to be sitting in that location with him by my side just felt right. And then I had this idea that you could begin to smell, and this speaks to the fragrance formula, you could begin to smell the flowers in the temple gardens as the breeze off the ocean started to blow, and you could smell the jasmine and the neroli and the rose. And then from behind, a temple priest lights his incense, and you start to smell these faint ideas of frankincense and sandalwood, but they're faint, they're subtle, much like Mohanji's consciousness. And then as you settle in more and more, you start to see the sun come up, and there's that moment of peace, or whatever you want to call it, which I think we all find with Mohanji, where you sort of feel at home and you feel safe and you feel seen authentically. There's no paranoia. So that was the vision that I had for the fragrance itself. And so I relayed that to him, and he liked the idea of it. And so ahead we went. I had to make some phone calls to my business partners, who were all uncharacteristically supportive in me doing something that was effectively competitive with what we do as a business, but they all love the idea. So ahead we went, and I contacted 2 people. One was the person that runs Hobotet, which is the Rolls-Royce of fragrance compounders in the south of France. This is the company that effectively invented most of the perfume formulae, families, and materials that we are all used to today. They've been around for hundreds of years, and they are the masters of natural oils. So they were very excited to take on the project, and then I phoned a friend of mine that to me is the best creative in the industry. He works on projects for everyone from Fornasetti to Paul Smith to Alexander McQueen, and is just extraordinarily creative. So I thought this guy sounds like the kind of guy I want to work with on this project. And we have a video from him which we're going to play for you guys after I've stopped boring you with my stories. And so anyway, so he met me in London after I'd been in Scandervale with Mohanji, and I was in such an amazing place after having been with Mohanji for so much time that it wasn't a normal business meeting. You know, he walked in, I gave him a big hug, and I said, well, you know, I know you've done some pretty out there stuff. I mean, including Dolph and Idika both have met Mark at the back, and they've probably got some stories to tell too. But one of the things he did recently was to create packaging exclusively out of mycelium. Genius. Anyway, so I said, long story short, I want you to make the perfume of God. What does God smell like? And he was, yeah, okay, let's go, let's do it, and started taking notes. And I'll let him tell his story via his video, but the way he approached it was really humbling for me, because for 3 months he didn't do a thing apart from read books on sacred geometry, Vastu architecture, Hinduism, mysticism. I mean, he really went very deep so that he could connect to your consciousness enough that he could translate you into that form. And so we began the process, and the packaging story is also mirrored in the fragrance in the video, which Taya has made, which is also incredibly beautiful, which is the story of the unit to the universe, from the individual small egoic personality construct through to this oceanic consciousness that we have sitting next to us today. And so you'll see in the packaging, which I'm very excited to show you all, I hope, this experience of going through these padders, these levels. And from the beginning, you get a glimpse of what's underneath it all, as we are all, I think, lucky enough to get in our lives. We get these moments of clarity and spaciousness, which, you know, for me are rare, but when they come, it's just, you know, it's so extraordinary. And so I wanted to have that element. But then also there's this concept of faith and patience from Shirdi Sai Baba. So you can see from the beginning where you're going, but you cannot get to it. And if you go too fast, you'll break something. And I think that was a very beautiful element that Mark introduced, this idea of it being a practice to engage with this product. So that's that. In terms of the fragrance, again, it's this experience of, well, actually not again, I haven't said this yet. The idea of the fragrance was that we translate the journey of life. And so to begin with, it starts with these very bombastic, high materials, very volatile materials. So it has bergamot from Calabria, the finest bergamot. They call it green gold down there. There's very few fields left that have these trees because the real estate is so expensive down there. But the bergamot from Calabria smells different to other bergamots. So we start with that and lemon, and then we move through into so that's the kind of the early teenage years, childhood to teenage years, and then we move into this very romantic period. And that has to do with jasmine. The jasmine we've used is from the south of France. It takes 1 million jasmine flowers to create just 1 kilo of oil. It costs about 3 times the price of gold bullion per kilo, which, if you think about it, makes sense. Imagine the real estate in the south of France, and you've got people picking flowers at night time before the sun touches the petal with torches, and it takes 1 million just to get enough flowers to make 1 kilo of oil, and it smells like no other jasmine. So we have that in the heart, and that's the sensuality of the human experience, which I also wanted to convey in this perfume. And then it comes on to the base, and the base is all about the sattvic end of our lives. It's about the soft quality and the very subtle qualities of Mohanji's consciousness, and that's something that I wanted to leave the wearer with, so that at the end of the day, it's still there, but it's not a punch in the face. You kind of have to be sensitive to pick it up. But when you do pick it up, it smells natural and warm, and it has this feel of the scent of skin after a day in the sun. It has this very soft, reassuring, balsamy quality, which I love. And the sandalwood we've used, it takes 70 years to produce, and there's something about that that I also have always been inspired by, that the people planting those trees will never benefit from the crop. It's for their ancestors to benefit, their predecessors, their children and their children's children to benefit from, which I quite like the idea of. So that's how the fragrance finishes, and it's a big part of the story. And when I first asked Mohanji, what is your first scent memory? He said it is of sandalwood in a temple, and that was very inspiring to me. And then several of Mohanji's devotees came and said to me that they felt the fragrance should have a theme of sandalwood, unprompted. So that was all the sort of reassurance I needed to go down that road. So one of the elements of this product is that it is extraordinarily complex, the packaging, the fragrance, and all of it. And so as a result of that, we don't have much today to show you, and we don't have any for you to buy today. So what I would like to do, if it's okay with everybody, is first of all to hand over to Taya. In fact, Taya is going to first of all play a video for us of Mark, who is the creative director on the project. And he's going to give us a very quick idea of what his process was, how it's been working on this project, and then after that we'll go on to... I'll tell you what will happen after that. One second. Well, while Taya's working on that, I'll say a bit more about the perfume. So one of the other elements of this product is that it's incredibly long-lasting. So the fragrance is diluted at a 25% oil concentration, which is almost unheard of in the industry, which means that it will last a long time in your skin. But because of the volume of base materials, so the more dense materials like vanilla bourbon from Madagascar, the sandalwood I mentioned, frankincense from Oman, where of course Mohanji spent a lot of time, because of those, and also benzoin and coumarin, because those materials are dense at room temperature, they don't leave your skin very quickly. And so that's why this fragrance lasts so long. As a quick thing for everybody in the room, if you ever are buying fragrance, don't ever buy one on the basis of what you smell in the shop, because what you're smelling are the most volatile raw materials. You're smelling lemon and lavender and aromatics. That's why so often we have half-empty fragrances in our dressing cabinets. You should always put the perfume on, walk around for at least an hour, and then come back if you still like it. With this perfume, it also takes you on an enormous journey. And so something to mention, which is quite important, is that you must put it on your own skin to smell it, because of the volume of natural raw materials and the grade of the raw materials. It really does smell different on everybody's skin. And it also changes enormously on each of your skins. So if you are interested in smelling it, please put it on your skin rather than somebody else's. If we have enough, that's it, another aspect to it is that because of the complexity of the formula, we've had to leave it sit for 2 months, a bit like a fine wine. And so that, I've never seen that be the case before. It changes so much that we've only got about 160 mil of it here, because the big batch that's been made isn't ready yet. So yeah, you're going to have to be relatively sparing with it today, but there is enough for everybody to get at least one spray on their wrist. But again, it's very important that you put it on your skin and not on your clothes or on someone else's wrist. That way you'll see if you really like it or not.
Hi all, my name is Mark Wilkie. and I've been designing the packaging for Mohanji Perfume. I would have loved to have been with you today in person, but instead I'm taking a family holiday in Menorca. But I've been asked to briefly talk to you about this wonderful project, which started when a friend and client of mine asked if I'd be up for an introductory meeting with this chap who had some very interesting ideas. He couldn't explain much more than that, and it was vague. So intrigued, I agreed to meet in London, and I got to meet Dominic. It was instant. Our connection was instant. His passion, the stories, one after the other, about this incredible guy called Mohanji, they were so compelling that, not really knowing much about it, I was in. And I knew this was going to be a very, very different project. My process with every design brief is to research. That's the most important part to any project. And this project was the same, but more. There was so much. I was reading articles, podcasts, interviews, all about Mohanji, buying his books. And I was fascinated, absolutely fascinated. There was so much to work with. I then, understanding the story and the wider context, started buying books on architecture, Hindu mosques, sacred geometry. I was deep, and I was loving it. A dream job for any designer. There's a lot you'll see encapsulated into the project came out of that research, and I'll let Dominic explain more when you physically can see the packaging. Through the design process, I'd never met or spoken to Mohanji, but I felt I'd really got to know him through drawing his eyes, working on symbols that meant so much to him, working with his handwriting and even his fingerprints. So when I finally got to meet Mohanji, it was a beautiful experience. He told me he loved me, and he explained that he'd been working with me through the whole project, which explained a lot and made a lot of sense. And hopefully you can see this in the end results. That feedback is not a normal client response. I've never had it. I loved every part of this project, and it's been really enriching experience for me. I'm so happy with the end results, and I can't wait to work on another project together. See you soon.
On holiday, but I will say that for Mark, who's been creative director of multiple firms, he's one of the top guys in the industry. The passion he had for this project and for Mohanji was really inspiring for me, and I'm going to show you now what the result of all of that was. So what I'm thinking is probably easiest is if I have the packaging on stage and give a couple out to the audience. Maybe you can arrange yourselves in kind of circles so that you can all experience each layer of the packaging as I do it. So I'm going to have one on stage, and there's three others. So perhaps if we have one here, one there, and one here, does that sound like it might make sense? I'm going to get them out, and then I'm going to walk you through the various stages.
One is Saffragan here. Saffragan.
Okay, so two of these packages have an empty bottle in them, because again, we didn't have enough juice. This one, I believe, has fragrance, and this one does too. So what I'm going to do is walk you through the experience of opening it and what each layer means, And then at the end, I'll spray everybody with the fragrance that's, that would like to smell it. So to begin with, okay, so to begin with, what you see on the outside of the box is the first pada, or the first layer. So this, at the top, you'll see there's a star map. That map, yeah, best to put it in. Oh, thank you, that's very gracious. So yeah, if you put it in the middle of the floor, everybody can see. And so on the top of the box, we have the night sky in the exact location of Mohanji's birth in Kerala, India, at that exact moment. So if you happen to have been lucky enough to be there for Mohanji's birth and you looked up into the sky, this is what you would have seen, something along these lines. You can see on the front that we have this concept again of the sun coming up. So this is the dawn of a new consciousness. It's Mohanji's consciousness coming into the world and giving us all the opportunity to see again. So that, and you'll see this theme of a sun rising resonate throughout the packaging. So if at the same time we can lift the lid of the first layer, if we do it quite carefully, then underneath that is a hand-drawn illustration of Mohanji's eyes with 3 of the core symbols of Shiva, the drum, the Om symbol, and the trident. At the top, you'll see, I love you. So this is written in Mohanji's handwriting, and you'll see as we go through the packaging, these various statements that get closer and closer to the ultimate truth. You'll also notice, which I forgot to mention, which I apologize, if you look from the top, you can see this Om symbol. That's what I was referring to earlier, of these glimpses of the truth that we all have in our lives. Let me put this up for the camera so the camera can see too. So you'll see here it says, I love you, and you can see this Om symbol. Okay, so as we open this, and let's try and do it at the same time if we can, what we are confronted with is this extraordinary lotus flower. So the lotus is, of course, as we all know, a symbol of the unfolding consciousness, but what we wanted to convey was this idea of the building blocks of reality. So the architecture behind creation, the design, and that's why Mark was so keen on the sacred geometry aspect. What, of course, you will then notice is that on the top of the box it says, I am always with you, again written in Mohanji's handwriting. It was very important to us that we use as much personal information from Mohanji as we could possibly get, because we're so fortunate to have him here with us physically. You then, which of course is so essential to Mohanji's story and identity, have the 4 aspects of Mount Kailash hand illustrated on each side, of course with the north face at the front. And then as you lift this, which we can all do at the same time maybe, you have the Sanctum Sanctorium. So here, beyond any physicality, we have the causal realm. We have the thought forms that create our reality. How does one represent that? Well, we decided to go with a white backdrop and using the most sacred colors that we could find, which is silver and gold, to represent the idea of the Om symbol at the top, emanating out and bubbling down into physical reality at the bottom. And then as we lift this piece, you will see that it says, I am you at the bottom, which we've all heard Mohanji say. And what it's really marked. It's really applause for him, but thank you. And what we have here is a Shiva Lingam sitting in a yoni with Sai Baba's throne in Shirdi, hand illustrated behind. And the cap for the perfume is, I find to be particularly interesting. It was very challenging to think of what we do for a cap. We're thinking of using a sun or a moon or an Om symbol. We weren't sure. And then I remembered this ball that's under the paw of the food dogs at the Forbidden Palace in Beijing, these ancient dogs that sit outside guarding the temple. And on those balls is the flower of life. So I thought, how nice to replicate that here with this feel of antiquity, to show the ancient nature of our incredible peerless lineage, but with the flower of life going around it, but then to add the Om symbol on top to sanctify it, and again to give a nod to the universal consciousness of Mohanji. As we take the bottle out of the packaging, firstly we'll see it says finally I am underneath the bottle as the final level that we all hope to aspire to achieve. So then we have the bottle. So as we can see, firstly, it's a fully bespoke, organic Shiva Lingam. This was made only for us by hand, which Mark worked on personally. You'll also see this reference to the sun coming up, this dawn of a new age. What you also might notice is the extraordinary simplicity of the product. I was taught by an economics professor in life to keep it simple, stupid, and I never forgot KISS, his little saying to me. And there's something very elegant about the simplicity of this. I think Mohanji was very clear. He wanted it to be called Mohanji and not anything else because of the power of that simplicity. Having said that, I couldn't exist, and we couldn't resist a bit of creative flair. So on the back, we have Mohanji's thumbprint. And so the product will... I love it. I mean, the product will forever be sanctified by his DNA, his essence. So that's it. The bottle's triple polished glass. It feels like crystal. There isn't a higher quality glass in existence. And as a final point, it is refillable. And so if you decide that you'd like to purchase one of these, which I hope that you all will, then the idea is that it sits on your altar at home, comme ça, and like this, and you can refill it. So there's no need to ever dispose of any of this packaging. You'll be able to use it for hopefully the rest of your life if you look after it. So this is the perfume. I think I'd like to spray it on all of your wrists before we watch Taya's extraordinary advertisement that she's made, if we're up for that. If so, we have 2 bottles. Maybe Chris could join me at the front, and then if you form a line, you can come and get a spray, and then after that, we'll play you the amazing advert. Do you want to grab the other bottle? I think there's one with fluid in it there. Okay.
Yeah, she told me.
But I don't want her to be the same pattern as she went a few years ago. And then she went so long.
But she's going to ashram, right?
Not quite, but close to the
You're going to ashram? You're going to ashram, right? There is a lot of people. Animals there. Kamdeni.
So it's only, being mother's nature. I'm obviously worried.
No, but you go to ashram.
It came up in my place. That she's very lonely.
Who?
So that I am very lonely. So my mom's really worried because
No, when you develop purpose, you cannot be lonely. When you don't have purpose, then you are lonely.
So she's leaving the job and everything. Obviously, it's a little bit.
No, but how do you go? You need a visa?
So basically, I was a permanent resident of Australia, but during COVID, I let it go. So the visa rule is a return resident visa. I only got 1 year left to qualify. So I'm doing all the process for it.
That's the best ashram.
she's telling me, Mom, you come afterwards as well. But being Australia that far away, plus Nilesh is quite, he says, what all this, what all this. So obviously, little bit affecting me as well.
Okay, continue, otherwise people will leave.
Yeah, no, I'm going to talk now. Yes, yes. Thank you so much, my love. We want to play the... Wait, guys, we have to play it.
You will sit down, don't put your back on.
I was waiting. Come on, man. Big boss, eh? You always got away without being straight. Where's Doug? Can you get some Doug? This guy.
That's you.
Right, so advert, are these on? Yeah. Okay, everybody, if you wouldn't mind just retaking your seats, we now are going to play the pièce de résistance, the incredible advert that Taya has made. Taya, please come up to the front so you can say just a couple of words. Or would you like to play, why don't you play the advert first and then talk about it after? So if everyone could again just take their seats as quickly as possible, that would be wonderful. Yeah, I think we are. Everyone please again just take your seats. Yeah, can you get a good view on that, bro? Yeah.
Fragrance of a pure heart travels far. Mohanji, the fragrance.
Okay, come on. So just briefly, before Taya comes and takes the mic, there's something that I wanted to personally say, which is how proud I am of her. This is her first big commercial project she's done, and I've worked with a lot of really great creatives. She was amazing at it, and I think we can all agree that the end result was flawless. It was absolutely perfect. So well done, Taya.
Thank you. But first of all, I hope you enjoyed it. A lot of hard work and passion went into this. As Dominic said, it's my first project as M-House Media of this caliber. Hope many more are to come. And before anything, it was a huge teamwork. So I'd like to thank the people who participated in this along with me, because this type of project enabled me to work with an amazing team. So I had an amazing video editor which did this wonderful job, and Sangeet from the US was also involved in this. The music, I hope you liked it. We had a really wonderful sound wizard from Serbia working on that and really putting so much effort to make this possible. Vishnu, some of you met Vishnu. He's behind some of the cinematography in there. And I mean, obviously Mohanji, the main star of the movie. So I just wanted to share some experience while working on this. Really amazing things happened. Obviously, because it's a Mohanji-related project, I really went out of my comfort zone, and I'm so grateful for it. I'm so grateful to Dominic as well to giving me that opportunity too. So one specific story I wanted to share is you saw the shots at the mountain that's opening the video. This was that shoot was a real how do you say, crossroads. From me. It's like I feel that my in the professional way I'm at a whole other level since then, and I experienced some really beautiful miracles by Mohanji that day, because we needed those shots with the mountain, and I don't know where it will happen, because with Mohanji is always on the road, is program between program, and there's really less time to do all these things. So really had to plan super tightly, super precisely, and we happened to be in Slovenia. And I knew Slovenia had this kind of landscapes there, but the weather was, oh my God. It was announced, the rain was announced the whole time, but we decided we'll risk it, we'll go there. And so I hired a cinematographer, we drove there, we did a recce one evening, we found the most amazing place to do that, and the plan was that same evening we'll go shoot first part of the shots, and we found the most, what you see in the video, the perfect shot we needed. But we found a place, we had to shoot in 1 hour, and by the time we went, we were going like the thunder started. Really the situation you don't want to happen, because the rain started and it's like the mountain's so unpredictable and it's really, really, really harsh. Worse than here, I have to say. So we decided, okay, I mean, we'll risk it. And we got Mohanji ready, and obviously, I mean, he did his magic, and we got these amazing shots. And apart from that, later on, we got also some shots which weren't planned originally, but it ended up in the video with the water and him meditating and very cold water, but the shot looks amazing because as per the script, we needed one shot of Mohanji sitting and meditating. But there was no way it could have been possible at the mountain. No way, because, I mean, nowhere you can sit, and also it was all wet. So on the way back, we stopped, and there was that beautiful river flowing, and he just went, he sat on a stone which was there, and it looked so nice, like he was in Rishikesh or something like that. You wouldn't say it's Slovenia. It has really that ancient India vibe, which, I mean, I was so happy. But then the best thing that happened was the next day, I wanted to get some drone shots of Mohanji at a very, very, very beautiful viewpoint at the mountain. So now the script had a moment where in the beginning we need to see the sunlight on the mountain. But that morning when we went, everything was cloudy and it was about to rain. And I completely forgot about that. And then at some point, I just got the drone up. I was doing some shots of Mohanji, like this, and the sun was behind. And by accident, I turned the drone then, and I saw the mountain, like the clouds and just the sunlight on the mountain. like really, really perfect, and it was impossible that it would have happened. He made it happen. It was so obvious. I mean, and I think I was high for 10 days after that shoot. So, I mean, that was a story I really wanted to share because, I mean, working with Mohanji is so, I mean, I have no words for it. And yeah, I feel that since this project, I already became a complete different person, and I can't wait to do more of these things. And thank you to Dominic once again. Thank you to Mohanji. And thank you to everyone who participated in this. I forgot to mention Natalia, who gave her voice at the end. Cannot see her. Yeah. And I really want to give a special mention to the video editor because she did much more than just video editing. I think she's watching us right now, by the way. So Tiana, thank you so much, because without her, this wouldn't have been possible for sure. She just put all her soul and energy and creativity into this, along with everyone else. And I'm so happy to have a team to work with, and this turned out great. Yeah. Thank you. We had a little technical problem, so the video you saw here, the whole upper part was cut. It was supposed to be fully centered, fully symmetric and perfect. But you'll watch it again.
Thank you, Taya. Huge thanks. As a final thing then, this product is available for purchase, is not available to take with you today. We are doing a drop of 300 pieces, which will be available in 2 months from now. Again, we have to wait for the juice, the fragrance bulk to macerate because it's so complex. So if you are interested in this, please do come to see me after we finished with the next activity, or if there's a break, come see me after this talk, and we can put your name down and you can pre-purchase a bottle now. So, and they'll be numbered, those bottles. So if you've got a particular number you want, please let me know as well. Okay, that's it. Thanks so much. Oh, Jack, yes, go on. Chris. Yes. Mohanji told me the people who wear this perfume will become enlightened. I don't know if you guys, that's... So you can risk it and not believe me. That's on you. I'm just a messenger. So yeah, thank you, Chris. That's a good point. Yeah. But, yeah. That's a good point. Devi just came with the next question. How much does it cost? Well, I feel like it's priceless at this point, Devi, actually. But if you want to get into it, it's £195 or 230 euros, which is a lot of money, I suppose. But I come from my background. All our perfumes are like, much more, so it doesn't feel expensive to me. But it is expensive. But again, this is a perfume concentration. You don't need much. It lasts at least 12 hours on your skin. There's 100 ml of it. So to give everyone an idea, if you buy Chanel, Guerlain, any of these fragrance house perfumes, so I need to explain. So there's eau de toilette, which is normally about a 5 to 10% concentration. There's eau de parfum, which is 10 to 15, and there's perfume. This is at a 25% concentration, so it's strong even for a perfume. If you were to buy 30 ml of Chanel perfume, it'll cost you about £250. If you buy 30 ml of our perfume at Roger Parfum, it can be up to twice that, can be up to 10 times that. So perfume it's very special. It lasts longer, it smells different, and this is a perfume concentration. So despite it sounding relatively costly, it's costly for a reason, and it's a very, very beautiful thing that will last you a very long time, I am sure. So, and you get enlightened too. So, yeah. Oh, there's one photo Taya's going to put up on the screen, which meant a lot to me personally. So when I first showed Mohanji the perfume for the first time, thank you Mohanji for giving me the opportunity, he said, which was music to my ears, that we should go and offer it to Shirdi Sai Baba. And so we went to the temple, and if you look carefully, you'll see the perfume bottle at the bottom of his feet, and you'll see the color of clothing that the Baba was wearing that day. And then next up, you'll see a bottle of in Mohanji's very sacred hands there too. So yeah, very beautiful moments from 2 days ago. Thank you, everyone. If you don't come and see me after, then we're also going to send a link for payment to everybody that's here today. So you'll have that available to you if you decide you'd like to purchase it. Okay, thanks so much.
Sound. About this perfume, number one, I left it completely to him, to Dominic. There were a lot of questions which I answered about what I like, what I am, or whatever, the basic personality related. But the consciousness related, there's nothing you can tell. That they figured out. That is first part. Second is that I was only, when Dominic told me about the flavors which are added and how costly they are, then I asked one thing, will anybody able to buy it? Because if it's too expensive, because it was coming to 600 pounds or something. The whole ingredients, the right mixture. And he said that none of these things merge with each other. They all stay separate to each other or something like that. So I said, if it is 600 pounds, nobody can buy. Then it had to be toned down to a level where it is purchasable. Because the main thing he said that, unlike other perfumes, it has a longevity. It will stay for much longer time.
I mentioned to Baba that we'd made a perfume for the Sultan of Oman in my company, which was £50,000. And Baba said, well, it needs to be at the same quality. So I said, okay, great, let's do it. So we actually didn't tone it down. We reduced our margin. So you're getting the same thing. The foundation won't make as much money from it to begin with, but we wanted it to be, it had to be at the same quality because it's the Raja Yoga path.
So I said our path is second to none, Raj Yoga path, royal path, elegant, second to none. So I don't want to drop down on elegance, and the effect of the path. So there are so many things which there was concern in me whether it will work in that way. But the final product, as Mark had also said, was a total surprise and also a pleasure to see so much input, detail, like the constellation of the stars at the time of my birth, the outside the pack, onwards all the way to the Om, the core of you, which you can only find through digging deeper and deeper. So all these were really lot of thoughts behind it, lot of effort behind it. So which is well appreciated. I believe that this will last for a long time. In the times to come, people will use it further and further, because I think it will or it should give a particular state when you wear it. Not exactly enlightenment. Nobody can give enlightenment. Yeah, but you will probably have a kind of, you will be in a particular space when you wear it. That's what I feel. But I would also like to appreciate, starting with Dominic, through the blenders, to Mark, to the people who created all these things into so many detail. I appreciate that. I don't think I have that kind of patience to dig into the core of an individual. All said and done, I'm an individual, So the tangible is what people look at. The intangible is not easy to find. So that's what I thought. And then filming was also very tricky. I get terribly annoyed when somebody wastes my time. Two things I get annoyed with. One is that my time wasted, because time is the currency of life. Time doesn't come back. Time is the most important thing in life, currency of life. So when somebody takes my time for granted, I walk away. That is one challenge she had. Second aspect is lack of planning. Means, this is where I want to go, or that's better, this is better. I always say, you do all your rehearsals, or all your usual checkups wherever you have to go, and then I go to that place. And one thing I remember is that they were keeping on filming, and I had to lift the water. It was ice cold. After a while, I can't leave. Huh? I know, best shot, but my eyes were useless. Yeah, so that was that. Yeah. Before this, I only acted in one documentary as myself, so it was easy. Yeah. So this is the next acting. I think I can do this. Anyway, well done, everybody, all the people. Thank you.
Next program. So now we have Ivana Surya performing a. Just helping her for dressing up. Kathak. Yeah. So while the stage gets ready, we have Ivana Surya, who's traveled from Croatia. She's a Kathak dancer, part of Himalayan School of Traditional Dance, and she's learning Kathak online over last 2-3 years. So she's going to perform here. Is Okay, may I request everyone to please take your seat? I know you've been sitting for a long time. It's getting a bit cooler. And even I standing in a summery dress. Okay, everyone please take your seat. I'm sure you're going to enjoy this. While they're getting ready, I will just a little few words about Ivana. Ivana Surya is actually the president of Mohanji Foundation, Croatia. She's a mother of a girl, 11-year-old daughter, and working as an accountant. And she's been with Mohanji for last 8-9 years. And we see her I see her online performing Kathak. She's at stage learning, and that she ensured that I have to tell she's not a dancer, she's a student. But beautiful Kathak dancer from Arati Paranjape, right? Arati Paranjape of HSTD from Mumbai. She's her teacher, Guru. So yeah, all set. Now I'll hand over. Welcome, Ivana. Thank you for coming to MCV Scotland. We are really honored to have you here. So over to you.
Thank you, Subhashi, for invitation, and I'm so happy to be here. And first, I would like to just say a few words about this piece that I'm. Okay. About Guru Vandana, this is the first piece that I'm about to perform. So on this auspicious occasion of Guru Poornima, we celebrate and honor our gurus, the enlightened teachers who guide us on the path of knowledge, wisdom, and spiritual growth. And Guru Vandana is a traditional invocation that pays homage to the Guru, recognizing their invaluable role in our lives. Guru Tattva refers to the essence of the Guru, representing the ultimate source of enlightenment and the dispeller of darkness. As I perform Guru Vandana tonight, I offer my deep respect and gratitude to our Guru Mohanji, who have illuminated our lives with his teachings. Thank you.
Yeah.
अखंड मंडलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः.
The second piece is called Tarana, but just let me tell you a little bit about Kathak. Kathak is one of the 8 classical dance forms of India, originating from the northern regions. And the word Kathak means storyteller in Sanskrit. And historically, Kathak dancers were traveling storytellers who conveyed tales from ancient scriptures and folklore through music, dance, and facial expressions. Today, it has evolved into a highly expressive art form characterized by intricate footwork, spins, and fluid movements, often accompanied by classical Indian music. And as Subhashi said, I'm a student of the Himalayan School of Traditional Dances that is founded by Mohanji, and I'm honored to learn under my teacher Arati Paranjape And I'm excited to share a glimpse of this beautiful tradition with you tonight. Thank you. Thank you. And for the final piece of my performance today, I'm happy to present the Kathak dance to a beautiful song about Radha, who is a central figure in Hindu mythology and the beloved consort of Lord Krishna. This song, with its evocative lyrics, celebrates the divine love and the eternal bond between Radha and Krishna. Through this dance, I aim to bring to life the emotions, devotion, and the joy that Radha embodies. I hope to share a glimpse of this timeless love story with you tonight. Thank you.
व्याकुल व्याकुल राधे का मन है, राधे के मन में वो मोहन है, जिस मोहन का श्यामल तन है, मदिरा सागर नयन नयन है, गिरधारी बन कुंज पे रैया, किसन कन्हैया बंसी बजैया, गोकुल के वो है मुरलीधर, राधा झूमे जिनकी लय पर, कहती घूमे गिरधर गिरधर, राधा के गिरधर आए,
देखो राधा
आए हाँ गिरधर आए,
राधा देखो
मुरलीधर गिरधर आए,
देखो राधा
मैं राधा तेरी मेरा श्याम तू, पर यूं ना कलाई थाम तू। मैं राधा तेरी मेरा श्याम तू, पर यूं ना कलाई थाम तू। मैं राधा तेरी मेरा श्याम तू, पर यूं ना कलाई थाम तू। दस कामना जो मन को नाग सी, बहे तन में जो पीत की आग सी। मत संयम का ले नाम तू। मैं राधा, मैं राधा, हाय राधा तेरी मैं राधा। गमधनि धानी द पम गम रे ग रे ग। मैं राधा तेरी मेरा श्याम तू, पर यूं ना कलाई थाम। राधा जो इतनी है लजाई, और भी पुलकित हुए कन्हाई। ऐसे ना लजा गोरी, मुखड़ा तो दिखा गोरी। बाजी है सुन राधा, मुरली की मीठी धुन राधा।
Once more, once more. That's what we were doing yesterday.
Yeah, this reminds me about this event in Croatia, Rada Yatra was organized, and they invited me to dance for this occasion. And I had like these 3 pieces. I'm a student, you know, I don't have a big repertoire for all night. And this guy who was at the audio, he put it on repeat and went away. And I finished, and then the music started again. And I was like, okay, and I did it again. Nobody noticed. They were all like, oh, beautiful, beautiful. Nobody noticed. I did everything twice, and they were like, yeah, more. And I was like, okay, that's it. I have to go now. Yeah, they really enjoyed it. And yeah. But
Thank you, Ivana. Thank you. That was really beautiful and elegant. Thank you. So today we have a repeat of Simran.
आओ जी आओ घूम
Now solo by Vignesh Anna. Solo. Solo by Vigneshwara. Just put some. Okay, while they choose the song and prepare, we can do one more thing, which is actually very, very important, close to my heart. Anyone can guess what's close to my? Not any book launch. Testimonials. There you go. First prize. So I would like to request, welcome Linda Bharati Abrol, who has traveled from Netherlands, and something special is going to happen. As always, record times, no surprises from Mohanji. Everything happens. If you think 1 year, he'll say, okay, do it in 1 month. If you think 6 months, he'll say, okay, do in 2 weeks. So that's what happened. Bharati thought about doing this book about her experience and other people. Please come here, Bharati. And to launch on Mohanji's 60th birthday. Which is in February. And then Mohanji said, oh, why not on Guru Poornima? And she had only 3 weeks, right? 5 days, yeah. 5 days, yes. And happened. As always, we are not the doers, right? So the one who does made it happen. So what we'll do is we'll invite, welcome Devi, you can present the book to release it. Devi, please go on the stage. And you can talk about the book a bit, and then Devi can launch it.
Actually, I'm not so good speaker. That's why I became a writer. So I will try something. First.
Comment is the same.
Comment is the same, yeah. So first of all, thank you very much, Mohanji, because everything came about because of you. It is all about the name, I think. I want to tell one experience, what I had and what I've written in the book, before I thank all the people. It is about, can I reveal the title, Mohanji? The name of the book is Mohanam, and of course every writer wants Mohanji to give a suggestion for a title. And we, Kun and Karin and I went to India, and in November last year, and my desire was, if this book is going to be more eligible, and more attractive for the reader, it should have also more direct experience with Mohanji personally. But we were going to the celebration of auspicious Sai Baba in our Guru's Gopal Baba's ashram in Nidakata. And we were not supposed to meet Mohanji, and Mohanji was traveling. And sometimes in November, you come to Bangalore, but that was absolutely not clear whether we would meet Mohanji or not. But my secret desire was to travel a little bit with Mohanji, but I have nothing to travel with him. I'm not, a high shot in the organization or anything to do with traveling with Mohanji. So that was just somewhere, but I know Mohanji is always making impossible things possible. And so we came to Bangalore, and then it happened that Mohanji also came to Bangalore that morning or that night or the day before. And when we arrived at, I think, 5 o'clock in the morning, we heard that Mohanji was there until the afternoon, and that then you were traveling to Delhi. And we were also welcome in your house. So we were happy to travel to your house and to meet you. And then suddenly I said, while having plans to go to Nidakata, suddenly I said, Mohanji, can I come with you to Delhi? And Mohanji said yes. So I quickly had a flight to Delhi. And I arrived there, and then even I didn't know if I was welcome to meet Mohanji there and what was going on. I knew that was the 20th celebration of Act van Amokher. And yeah, Mohanji must be busy, you know, a few days before that celebration. And so I was there in a hotel all alone, and I was thinking, what have I done? What am I doing here? And then I had a contact with Priti Dukal, and she said, you can come. So I came to Mohanji's apartment. I said, oh, I'm in Mohanji's apartment. And Mohanji was there, Priti was there, Madhu was there. And then guests came in, and I was just, my only desire was to see what's Mohanji like when I'm sitting with him. And I had a few questions about the book, but that was only maybe 10 minutes or 5 minutes. I didn't need to come to Delhi for that, actually. But I just wanted to sit there. And so guests came in, and I was sitting there, and more guests came in, and important things were spoken, and I was just looking at it, and I said, this is what Mohanji is doing, you know. The one guest after the other is coming. And this Sufi master was coming, and they were talking global, really important things, and I was just a spectator, just a witness to it. And one little thing what really kept in my heart and my mind, Mohanji went to get something from a sleeping room. Madhu came in from the stairs, and he opened the door, and it banged into Mohanji's arm. And it must have been quite hurting, because it was a real bang. I could hear it from where I was sitting. And Mohanji didn't even do like this, what we normally do when we get hurt. No, he had a purpose. He wanted to go to the bedroom to fetch something and bring it back to... Bathroom purpose. No, not the... He didn't even do like this. He didn't say to Madhu, what are you doing? And Madhu said, oh, sorry. And there was no, you know, his purpose was to catch something and to bring it there. That's all. Nothing to do with the body. So that's a little thing, just small thing, what I saw. This is how Mohanji is working. And then we discussed the book for a little bit. For hours, I was sitting there. Nobody sent me away, so I just kept on sitting there. And then I asked Mohanji about the book. And I asked Mohanji to give a suggestion for a title. And then Mohanji said, to my surprise and my honor, I suggest Mohanam. I said, Mohanam, what is this exactly? Because Mohanji is Mohanji's name. And then he said, that's the theme of my 60th birthday. And I was so much honored. I don't know if it's still the theme. 60th, right? And yes, in February. And I was so much honored. That was immediately an acknowledgement for the book, because you never know if Mohanji agrees with something or not. And the start of this book was actually a really short, a really small booklet, but with the name In Silence with Mohanji. And Mohanji's father said, after reading it, he said, no, this is much too small, you have to make a proper book. He said, you include the same story, but you make it much bigger. So that also felt like a great honor for me to honor that request. And that's how this book came about. And then the last small story, what I want to tell about how it came about, that was what Suba said. I was really expecting I could add more testimonials. It could be ready in February. I could edit it and edit and edit, because even after 7 times edit, you feel something can be more perfect, more beautiful. And then I had contact with Mohanji, and I said, what would you think is the auspicious time for this book release? And then I got this WhatsApp, 21st of July. And I was about to go to this important event, 5 days from traveling, and it was not finished. I had to add more stories. Dolph's story was not in yet. I had to edit it myself or to reread it. Koen had to edit it, to go through it with Koen's scanning look. there was no DTP done, and Jivan also didn't have much experience with DTP. He did Cool Light 7, and that was all. So he had to do that in 2 days. There was no cover design, and there was no ISBN number, and this has to be arranged in 5 days. All of this, impossible. That's why the theme, no, I must go a little bit back. The theme of the book is, as the suggestion of Mohanji, the beauty of consciousness, which is really beautiful. And in the beauty of the consciousness of the Guru, connecting to him, or as Mohanji would say, plug in, then I always visualize like a plug here, and plug it into the Guru. And in this plugged in consciousness, you experience moments of connection. And I must say, these are really moments. It's not like it's forever plugged in. I cannot say like that. I want to be plugged in much more and more and more. But writing keeps me plugged in. That's what I feel. So the suggestion for the subtitle and the theme was the beauty of consciousness. And in this beauty of consciousness, the impossible becomes possible. So all these stories are about how the impossible became possible for the people who, graciously gave their testimonial for me to publish, and my own stories with Mohanji, and also with, as volunteer in the Mohanji Foundation, I went with Selma to Turkey, and what we experienced there is incredible. I can still cry about it. Not about, also about what happened with the people there, but what we experienced. Do you have three minutes for one experience, what we have? Let them read it, good. So I think this is about it. Oh yeah, and then this 5 days were over. And then I think Koen should tell what happened then. You want to tell, Koen? Shall we do it in one sentence then? Yeah.
What a bad luck and grace at the end.
Okay, finally it came here. So that was also a story which is impossible, and a short part of that story, what happened with Koen and how it came here, is also in the book, because also that I added quickly.
Oh my God!
In the last minute, while I was here, but after driving home to with Kathy and Sinead, then in the evening I was quickly writing what happened with Koen and Karin. So it's a lot of impossibilities became possible.
There you go. Okay, you can open. How do I open it? Oh, sorry. I mixed up in my head. Mohanam, the beauty of consciousness. That's me. It's yours. Thank you. Yeah. Mine is 400. Hers is, I think, also 400. Yep. I'm keeping it.
Ivana is gone? Okay. Oh, Ivana, come please. Do this one more honor. Ivana just did not bring the HSTD Kathak for us. She also brought a surprise, again, very close to my heart. This book is, you can all see, you remember this? You have seen this? Guru Leela, and this was the very first book, Guru Leela 1. And what Ivana brought is that this is a Croatian. So this is the Guru Leela 1 book that you all have seen in our book stall, but this is the Croatian version. So Ivana brought this specially for us. Thank you, Ivana. And this is now Guru Leela 1 has been translated in 6 different languages already. So very happy to see Croatian. And it's very special to my heart anyway, because, and you know this story. If you read, you'll know the story of Guru Leela. Thank you, Ivana. And thank you, Mohanji. If you say it will happen, we'll make it happen.
Yeah, we are making Guru Leela 2nd and 3rd in Croatian as well. And this book is very special for us because this is first book translated in Croatian. Yes, so... Not yet. No, we use Serbian to sell. Yeah, but now we are translating it in Croatian as well. Yeah. Yeah, it's in the process.
But Guru Leela happened. Hooray, hooray. 3 cheers for Guru Leela. Thank you, Ivana. If everyone, if you are here still and anybody would like to sing bhajans, you're most welcome till 6 o'clock Aarati happens. Yeah? No? So we'll go to the temple and do bhajans till Aarati starts at 6 p.m. Okay. Okay, online audience, thank you so much for being here, and I hope you really enjoyed the session. We are now closing here for today with a great, a little bit of sadness. The whole retreat has come to end with a beautiful way with Guru Poornima. Thank you. We really appreciate all our global family to have joined us all the 16 days. And we wish you all the best. Till we meet again, bye-bye. Jai Mohanji. Jai Mohanji. Jai Mohanji. Jai Mohanji. I'm not happy with that. Do you think I'm happy with that? Can you do better? Can we do better? Once more time. Thank you, Thea and M House Media team. Thank you all the performers.